always defend women no matter what. And you know, with what's happening with Bihlali Ndamase, obviously now the video of her allegedly smashing your stuff has come out. But my thing is, that still doesn't justify what happened to her. If I break your window, it doesn't mean you get to break my face. That's not a proportional response at all. And I think that's something we all need to learn about. This was this sample from Milk Cosmetics. Anyway, right, what is a proportional response, and also how do we victim blame women, especially when you're looking at even Keke Palmer, right? I'm seeing a lot of women take it personal that, oh, you know, she went back to that guy or whatever. But if people actually study what like cycles of abuse do to people, then I think people would be more understanding. And I guess, I know it makes people angry and you'd be like, I just don't understand. Of course you don't understand, because this is like psychological manipulation. Like, manipulation is not something that you understand. It's not something that is rational, because I feel like every response to it would be irrational, because manipulation itself is kind of irrational. It's kind of weird, right? And you know, some women come out of it very easily, but some women don't. And when people try to fit into this like the perfect victim thing, where this is how a victim is supposed to act, this is how a victim is supposed to be, this is how a victim is supposed to do this and that, I think that bars a lot of women from like coming out. And I feel like that's something that we as a country, I'm saying as a country, or maybe we as a people need to talk about it, because I was saying a country since I'm from South Africa, and South Africa is like the gender-based violence capital of the world. But like, it's a very like sticky topic that you can't just be insensitive in, right? The lighting here is terrible, but I hope you can still understand what I'm saying. But yeah, so even when we're speaking about what it means to be, you know, a woman supporting other women, I support women's rights. And when women do wrong, I correct them, right? Because I feel like I'm not gonna be there to defend a man. I don't care. I will never in my life defend a man, because what would that get me? Like, you'll never see me here being like, oh, you know, man, I feel like, I don't think that gets you anywhere, because gender-based violence is crazy. And I think the moment people understand that this is not a linear process, this is not a process that looks a specific way, especially because I think TV makes it look a specific way. Like when you're watching things like 13 Reasons Why, it's like, oh, okay, this is how it happens. Or you're watching other shows, okay, this is how it happens. Especially because now there's a lot of shows that have come out with storylines about sexual assault or whatever, or like domestic violence. I think while those shows do well, they only depict like a single story. And you know, the transphobic lady, she spoke about the danger of a single story, right? So, and I know we've all watched that video, because I'm pretty sure all our schools made us watch, guys, this is the danger of a single story. You know, people are diverse, people are what, people are this. And please go read Rape the South African Nightmare by Phumlani Nyawokola, where she talks about like what the perfect victim is, and why this perfect victim syndrome is very harmful to the world of justice, especially within Black South African, you know, politics. Because in Black South Africa, you know, we have like what's this, respectability politics. And so respectability politics, racism, colonialism, all these things bleed into the way that we feel sorry for victims, or the way that we, you know, participate in colonialism when we decide on which victims are valid and which victims are deserving of their victimhood, or which victims aren't deserving of their victimhood. For example, when you look at the stories that are told the most in the media, like which are the stories that are framed the saddest, and why isn't every story as sad as the other? Why is it that we know about, you know, certain people who maybe are part of a specific race or a specific class? Why do we know more of their stories than like poor people? When, you know, injustices like this happen to poor people, you know, it's not spoken about a lot, because like poverty makes people dehumanize you, right? And so when it comes to, oh, okay, feeling sorry for the person, it's like, oh, but that's poverty. That's what will happen when you're in poverty, which is such a wrong mentality to have. And it's not even a conscious mentality. I do think that it's more unconscious than anything. But it's something that you need to look at when you're looking at who the perfect victim is, especially when it comes to how we speak about South African women. So a lot of people have been like, oh, like, what do these people, da da da, guy. This world is crazy. This world is insane. So that's what I really wanted to talk about, especially because I'm a girl that grew up on Mihlali Ndamase, and because I've spoken about this thing a lot, especially like at forums. I've read about like victimhood a lot. Also because of the thing that I study at school, right? Even when it comes to, okay, why aren't black people believed, or why are these people believed, why, you know, I had to read a lot about that, especially when I was in white schools, because I didn't understand why I was treated the way that I was treated. I was like, why is it that when I cry, I'm not believed? Why is it that my tears aren't a weapon that someone else's tears are? And so that also goes into who is the perfect victim, who is the victim that is believed, or who's the victim that has the right to speak about their experiences while others are dismissed. I'm coming! So, yeah, I just wanted to do a little light makeup. It doesn't look nice in this lighting, but I swear my makeup looks good. Like, let's see it here. Oops, it doesn't look good. I'm about to finish now. Let's look here. Oh, it looks good. It looks nice. Okay, hold on. Let's just do my lip routine. Who's loving my baby? So be more understanding towards people. Like, extend some grace, because if you don't, one day it's gonna be you. And you're gonna be like, oh my God, I always said I could never. Never say never. Never say never. I never thought that yeah, for me, one thing about me, I'm always going to support women because I love Mihlali. Sorry, I really like Mihlali. I really like all these people that have been trailblazers in girlhood in South Africa. And have they done things that I side-eye? Of course, but I'll never ever sit here and say, oh, it was justified, whatever happened to her, because no, could never. Especially considering the climate of the country that we're living in. We all know that we live in South Africa. We all know the stats about gender-based violence in South Africa. So why would we act like, oh my God, this is such a new idea, oh my God. No, we were talking about these things at school.